Welcome to Down the Middle Battlers. As usual, Joel and H tonight. We're doing the Zoom again, H. This will go onto the YouTube.
We are, mate. It's good. It's going to be the weekly thing now. Zoom to the YouTube, and then just the normal audio on the Spotify. It's pretty much going to be
we missed last week, obviously out at the footy. That took priority. Sorry, Battlers.
And it was just a bit too hard. Then coming into the weekend.
Yeah. Once you get to Thursday night, then we're struggling. I did have big hopes. I did put it to the team. Hey boys, what do you reckon we record an episode on the way to the footy? I didn't have many legs, did it?
No, it didn't. You sort of put it out there, and we went, yeah, we'll be right. Rather have a couple drinks. I did get a couple comments.
I thought that would have made it. I thought that would have been really good.
But it's funny. I seen one person on Saturday after golf, and one of the first things he said, he goes, "Mate, were you hammered leaving the footy?" I went, "Oh, look, I was well on my way."
One of the great sponsors of the Sharks. Shout out to Southern Comfort. Very, even in a bit of discomfort as a Dragon supporter, still felt the comfort.
And not overpriced even. Going for the price. It was only $11 a can. You get that at a pub, you know what I mean? Sort of. I feel like
you couldn't turn it away, could you?
No,
it was pretty good.
No.
Big week in sport, H. We're going to touch on a few things. What do you got off the top of the
head? Well, sort of Wimbledon. We sort of touched on it last week. Wimbledon sort of started. Big names, obviously, just keep going through. They did the big ceremony for Roger Federer, I think last night. I'm pretty sure it was. He went on the center stage and did a big speech. And then Ash Barty announcing today as well that she had a baby boy. And she, when it comes to names, you know what I mean? You look at it and she picked probably the most perfect name that she could have.
One of the greats.
One of the greats, mate. Hayden Barty. So,
is he a Barty? No, won't he be a?
Oh, sorry, it will be, won't it? I hooked that one up.
What's his name?
I
just know he's Gary. His name's Gary, isn't it?
Gary Kissick.
That's it.
Kissick. So it'll be Hayden Kissick then.
Well, look, they might go with Barty. You never know.
Yeah.
In a progressive world.
I think they are married, but obviously she probably would have kept her last name.
I tell you what. If I'm young Hayden, I reckon I want Barty as my last name.
100%.
I reckon I might be having a chat to Dad when I'm 12 or 13, going, "Hey, Dad, look, love you, but Mum's famous."
Reckon 100%.
Reckon we can both.
And he probably won't mind that as well. He probably did.
Absolutely.
I think Barty's a bit of a better name than Kissick, I think, sort of.
Yeah. Anyway.
And the other one, mate, sort of breaking news from sort of this afternoon with the NRL players in a dramatic media boycott. As a CBA standoff explodes, as they say.
Nice. That's headline worthy. Well done there.
That's Fox Sports for you. That's Foxy.
You could get it right.
Yeah. So it'd be interesting. They've told they can only speak to the media Tuesday, Wednesday. And then when the round starts, they don't want them to do anything. Not even with Channel 9. Nothing. They can't do pre-game, halftime, full-time. So
anything connected to the
media
NRL, because now there's a number of clubs with their own social media profiles, especially Dragons got a podcast. Tigers,
so that they can do club.
Yeah.
So they said they can do club. They can do club whenever they want.
Yeah.
But
not jumping on the news. If Danny Weidler comes knocking, you tell him to jam it, that sort of stuff.
Because obviously in their contract, they are obligated
to the club.
To the club. And this has got nothing to do with the clubs. This is CBA for the NRL to the RLPA to the NRL, so the club shouldn't have to suffer because of.
Mate, what are we round? We're round 19, and this is not sorted yet. This has been going on.
I remember at the start of the year, they sort of said they were going to do the preseason.
But it was from back end of last season they started the talks.
So yeah, as they said, from the 31st of October this year, they don't have a CBA for the men's and women's. So yeah, it's a bit of a scary time because both parties, aren't going to back down.
Well, yeah, look, to be honest, only a few weeks ago, the stuff that was coming out, I really thought that the NRL will come to the party and that it was going to be sorted. You know, there was obviously, it's not going to be sorted before the start of the season. And they're like, nah, it's all right. We're working on it. It's all good. And then, you know, by about round 10, you were sort of thinking, this will be wrapped up pretty soon. And there just seems to be, I don't know,
it got swept under the carpet a bit. So the season started, like, I thought it was done. So this, like, when I seen this afternoon, I was like, oh, wow, like, I thought, like, something's happened last minute, like, you know, the 30th hour, they've come in and one of the parties are going nut. But, it's crazy. So it'll be interesting to see what happens in the next coming weeks, because they said the ban will keep happening until it's signed. So imagine in 10 weeks' time when it's grand final week or prelim week, and they're still on this band.
They got to get it sorted because, exactly like you just said, we've only got just over a month, and we're into finals series where half our teams are gone. You can only focus on like
the eight
teams. You need the media. You don't have 9 other teams to go to.
You can't do another like when they dump the preseason launch. You know, they dump that because the players weren't going to rock up. Right?
Exactly. I don't know.
You can't dump the finals promo because
exactly right.
What are you going to put on TV when you're starting Channel 9, starting Fox League? You know how Fox League have their big fire logo and the team's just walking out.
Exactly.
Like, if they don't do that, what are you going to do? You're just going to go bang straight to the host.
Yeah.
And just like, yeah.
They need it sorted. They need it sorted real quick. Well,
definitely.
Watch this space, I guess. Again, as we've just said, you'd have to think by, you know, in the next 4 to 6 weeks before finals that, you know, something.
You'd hope so.
And again, the NRLW starts something like the 20th of July, only a few weeks away as well. And their season's very short. Their finals will be coming up real soon too. So yeah. Oh, okay. Watch this space.
Exactly right.
Mate, round 18. We just had it. Did you see the tipping? Did you see the tipping results?
I did see the tipping
over the weekends.
Anyone
jump up a few positions, or
you did, mate? It is a disgrace that you don't back your own team, though.
No, it's not a disgrace. Hey, I've got the jersey up here signed. I'm wearing the jersey again tonight. It's not a disgrace.
No, I was only geeing you up there because sometimes it goes, you know what? You got to put your head above your heart sometimes. When it comes to the tipping comp for pride, you got to just.
I was there. You know that I was there on Thursday night yelling at you and yelling in support of my team. I wanted my team. I could have foregone the tip. I don't care about the however many 1 point. I want my team to win, but I knew that Sharkies were going to win. So that's who I tipped. Yeah. And that's just the way it is.
That's
anyway.
Yeah. Congratulations on the round. That's what you're looking for. I know.
Yeah. Yeah, thanks, mate. I did. I got 8 from 8, and I'll talk through my thoughts.
The second time as well.
Yeah, two this season. I'm still coming friggin' 5th.
That just shows how bad you're going some weeks. And I said that on the Monday or the Sunday night. I went, hey, mate, you got 2 full rounds, and you're still like 4 points off the lead.
I tell you what, I'm pretty sure some weeks I've got like 2 right. So bad. Anyway, what I am disappointed in, I'm disappointed we didn't do the pod because I didn't get to talk everyone through my thoughts on who I was going to pick. Anyway, no, I didn't. All right. Anyway, Thursday night, obviously, Dragons got thrashed by the Sharks. But to be honest, they were in it for a long time up until about
the score doesn't represent.
Yeah, that's what I thought. They scored in the 76th, the 70th, the 67th minute. Those last three tries were like bang, bang, bang.
But you know, but it's a running theme for the Dragons, though, because how many times have we said, "Oh, the score doesn't reflect their performance," 100%. But unfortunately, it's like, well,
it does reflect it.
How many times can we say that before going? You know what? They just can't play 80. And footy is an 80-minute game. You're not going to win a footy game on 20 minutes, are you? Like on 60 minutes, like.
So a point to that, you're exactly right. Apparently, Flano is bringing in a new strength and conditioning team, and he's bringing in one bloke, and I think the current, I don't know names, but the current guy's pretty much, he's gone.
I think he's New South Wales, isn't he?
Yeah, potentially, but it's all about their 80-minute fitness. Apparently, he's not happy with, as you just said, he's not happy with the 80 minutes. Because
I don't blame you, mate. Though you
100%.
And this comes back from Griffin. I don't know.
Yeah, we could go on for days.
You know what I mean? Like, it's just you can see that. But
anyway, there were some good signs. Ben Hunt played terribly. He's got too much head noise going on. Those 2 or 3 kicks that only went about this far off the ground. He hit the referee. Those sorts of things. He just looked frazzled. I honestly reckon if he's going to continue to play for the rest of the year, that they just got to throw the ball to Sullivan. Throw it to Sullivan. Let him do everything. Lose every game from here on out.
Yeah.
Let Sullivan do everything. And Ben Hunt can just be like a trainer and go on and whisper in his ear and go, mate, kick it here, and let him do it. They got to take the pressure off Ben, because there's no point putting him out there if he's going to play like.
Yeah. And the thing is, I think they put more pressure on him because they keep losing by big margins.
Exactly right.
And everyone goes, "Oh, well, why would he want to be here?" You know, it's like, then it's more talk about him, even though when it's like, it's just not him.
And then they got those idiots standing behind the try line that every time they have to run back for the kickoff, yelling out at him, Hayden Moore, you muppet.
Well, you know, when your biggest rival's down, you got to kick them.
Some of the obscenities that come out of your mouth were terrible.
Hey, anyway, we did get a couple laughs from the crowd, so I'll take that each time.
Yeah, actually, we had a good little time there. I wouldn't mind going back to Shark Park. Actually, it was good. Friday night, we had the Warriors and the Rabbitohs. You, on the way to the Sharks game, I think you were like, Warriors, because I think we did our tips in the car. Mate, Rabbitohs were immoral. The Warriors had run out of puff. They'd run out of puff. They'd had a couple of good games. They didn't have another one in them.
Just when I get a bit of belief in, you know what, the Warriors are a different team this year, they go back to what they are.
No, they are, but they'd already had a couple of wins in a row. If we look back to round 17, they beat the Dragons 48-18, and then the week before,
they won a 3-match win streak with a bye.
So like they didn't have another one in them. You just got to believe, mate. You got to trust me. Anyway.
Yeah. And going over New Zealand, I'm like, surely, you know what I'm like.
They didn't have it. Anyway, Rabbitohs, they played well. And then another one that I knew was coming, Storm 16, Panthers 34. The Storm didn't have another one in them. How on earth did you think the Storm were going to win?
I don't know. You know what the problem is? I had Penrith. No, down in Melbourne. Munster's back. Hughes, Grant. Yep, let's go to Melbourne. They let me down again. Yeah. They're the 2 games that I got sick. I got 6 out of 8, and they're the 2 games that let me down. And I'm going, oh man, I'm glad my team didn't let me down and go 0 from 3, because then I would have really been pissed.
But, mate, you just got to listen to your mate Burrell. Anyway, look, Panthers played pretty well. Obviously with a few of their key players in and out last few weeks, so they did all right. GIO Stadium, it's an absolute fortress. Saturday afternoon, the Raiders beat the Titans 26-22. pretty close. There was only
They made hard work of it.
Yeah. They really did, especially with Tino scoring in the 78th minute to you know get pretty close. But I don't know what the stats are. I just feel based on vibe alone that Raiders must win the vast majority of games at GIO. Surely
it would be. I think it would be a crazy stat to see sort of over how long they've been there. Like what actually is their winning percentage?
I will try and do a bit of a Google search while we're doing this podcast because I'd like to know. A huge score line. I'm glad someone scored more than 52 points to make the Dragons look a little bit better. Cowboys got their revenge on the Tigers, 74 lot. That was ridiculous.
Yeah,
that was it was almost disgusting. I'd hate to be some of our Tiger supporter mates. I will bring it up and I will confess on the podcast that yes, for our punters group, I was going to put a multi on with 6 try scorers. I sent it to a mate, our Tiger mate, and he said he hated it.
That was your first step.
I know. I shouldn't. I just wanted to show it to him to sort of rub it in his face that this is one of the great bets. And then I went, no, that's a bit silly. Like I'm carrying on a bit. They had all scored. 5 out of 6 had scored in the first half, and then Jeremiah and Nanai crossed in the 68th minutes. That would have cleaned that up. My $5 on that would have won us about $380. Instead, I picked Nanai, Cows, and a Tigers player to score, and well, that was never going to happen because none of the Tigers players scored.
It's pretty disgraceful with sort of the performance they put out. Really, you sort of sometimes you go like going into halftime's good. It breaks the momentum of the winning team.
It didn't,
but it didn't. It's bang. They scored after 3 minutes after halftime, and then just absolutely walked away. It was it's like a train and run. Like when you look at it, you go, 52-16, Sharkies won by, going, that's a pretty bad score.
74-0.
Then the Tigers come in and go, hold my beer. We can do better. And then obviously one of the other games we'll get to as well, they went, nah, hold the beer. So the Dragons were in one hand, and now they're back in the fridge relaxing. Because they're getting talked about. So
Sheens, Benji, that little coaching combination for the Tigers. What's your thoughts?
It's a bit interesting.
Sheens has still got next year as well, doesn't he?
Yeah, I think might leave that for another topic that we have in, I reckon, before we sort of.
Sure. I like it. The third game Saturday night was Broncos defeated the Dolphins. I think everyone would have picked that. That was.
I didn't know it was at the Gabba though. It took me by surprise when I put it on the TV. Obviously the Gabba being an AFL ground.
Interesting.
I was like, where's this? And I looked on the app. I'm like, wow. Like,
I wonder how many they got out there.
It would have been good to see. But I feel like it's too far away. But the result went the way that we probably thought it would go away. Obviously,
Selwyn Cobbo scores 3, and then we'll talk about the origin in a minute. But not named. Is that right?
He didn't get named because I think he was injured for game 2, wasn't he?
I think Coates has kept the spot.
On the app that I'm looking at, they don't have the teams.
Well, they might not have a team list. Yeah. Anyway, I'm pretty sure, which was interesting. But as we'll probably get to later, very Billy Slater, Freddy, definitely picking teams very differently.
One's got brains and one doesn't.
Talk about that in a minute. Sunday, Arvo, the Doggies, again, another team to not score a point, and the Knights putting 66 on them. Kalen Ponga, 11 from 11. Thank you, Kalen. That helped my Supercoach score. And it's the Knights. Like,
Yeah.
Goodness me. I don't know. That's we'll talk about it in a minute, but that's really bad. That's
I think
really bad.
the biggest cheer there was booing them off at halftime. I'm pretty sure that was as loud as that crowd got.
I still don't like that. I hate that. I'm really disappointed in that.
Nah, I can see where it's coming because they didn't play last week, and then the week before that we pumped them by 38 points. I go, you know what? I think it's fair enough.
No. Dragons could lose 25 out of 25 in a season. I'm not booing them. I'll walk out 10 minutes to go. I'm not booing them.
Nah, I'll stay around. I'll give them peace of my mind. Right? That's disgraceful.
No.
It's
you can't boo them. It's not as if they're out there trying to let them score 66 points against them.
Yeah, but fuck. Right. 66-0.
Yeah. Oh, it's terrible, Hayden. But when things don't go your way, things don't go your way. How many rounds of golf you played where you've shot 150? And
I'm not a professional golfer.
Yeah, but were you trying?
Professional athlete.
Were you trying hard to shoot less than 150? Absolutely.
100%.
But you didn't.
Yeah. Yeah, but that's like saying putting a Ron Massey bloke in NRL, and if he has a shit game, go, oh, you're a fucking shit footballer. You know what I mean?
What do you mean? No, I don't. What do you mean?
Well, they're professional athletes, mate. I'm a recreational golfer at best.
Yeah, I know.
Right?
Yeah.
But you can't go, oh, well, like 150. Oh, you're fucking terrible. I'll take it on the chin because I am. You can say this.
I know they lost by 66. Yeah, they should have been better. But also, you're going to boo them? You're really going to boo them?
Oh, mate, I'll boo them and more.
Yeah, well, I saw the abuse you were giving Ben Hunt. You're a mug. And but you're doing it to your own team. Again, it's not like they're out there trying to lose.
Oh, mate, it doesn't look like they're out trying to win.
I reckon they would have been.
You reckon?
I reckon they would have at least been trying to protect their score. I don't reckon they wanted the Knights to score 66 to nil. Even if they can't score, they don't want them to score 66 against them.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Ah, you're a mug. You're just an angry bloke. Just lighten up a little bit. Last game, 4 Pines. Seagulls 18-16 against the Chooks. The Chooks suck. Sucked in Chookie supporters. That's all I'm going to say on that.
Yeah, it was a bit of a
battle of the
weird
birds.
Game. Battle of the birds. Yeah.
Battle of the birds. And you know what? A rooster's got nothing on a seagull. So jam it.
Yeah, definitely.
I hate them. I just hate them.
Yeah, of course. Before we get on to the little topic of the sort of the bottom 3 teams, are they disgraceful? Is the actual term that I put in for the rundown sheet. We do have one listener that sends in pretty much one every week.
Our number one listener.
He is one of the number one listeners. He's a poor Chookies fan, and I think he's trying to sort of mask his.
He's deflecting, isn't he? He's deflecting.
100%. He's definitely going, you know what? There's 3 worse teams than my team.
Only just, mind you.
Only just, yeah. And he's trying to sort of shift the blame that I won't shift the blame. I'll be pounding the Roosters each week if they lose because, you know, we're this top club. But anyway, I'll put his recording on right now for you by the loyal listener, Jared Easton.
Hey, Joel, another bloke that sometimes I can't remember your name. Running a metaphorical eye over the New South Wales team. Cody Walker. Are we trying to lose 3-0? Regan Campbell-Gillard. When the fuck did he last play? Can't get fucking picked if you're not playing. Who else? We got Gutherson on the bench. Fucked. What else we got? Koala Maitangi. Whatever the fuck you spell his name, say it, whatever. What? Where's Huddy Young? Anyway, may as well jam the broom up our ass now and sweep the whole nation because as one, when this team was released, we collectively spewed into our own mouths a little bit. Origin dead. Bye-bye.
That was an Origin one. I thought it was a bit more of a NRL, actually. That must have been the week before. Should we play last week's one as well? Because that would have made.
If he's got it. We're gonna talk Origin anyway, but if you've got it there, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you need,
Here we go.
do you need to fact check it first? Do you need to fact check it first? No.
No, I think this one
doesn't matter.
Just put on there.
H, Joel, and another bloke that you occasionally get on. How are you? Yeah, I'm good. Thanks for asking.
Yeah, no worries.
Just wondering what your thoughts are. Ben Hunt, so desperate to get out of a club, and they just hold on to him for dear life, the poor bastard. He's had enough. He's a one-man band. He just can't do it himself. His back must be killing him. Anyway, I thought I'd leave you with a joke. St. George Illawarra Dragons. Bye!
Yes, well, Jared, it's all well and good to poke fun at the other team that's down the bottom when your team is doing nearly just as bad. So, first of all, gem it. Second of all, yes, we do feel bad for Ben Hunt. Not really. Whatever. H doesn't.
Oh, I do for a little bit, but I don't think he's back. His back wasn't sore after last week because he fucking didn't do anything. So,
H, look, the bottom three teams, we were just talking about it before. The bottom three teams, Tigers, Dragons, Bulldogs. Tigers and Dragons on 12 points at 17th and 16th, respectively. Not respectively. And the Bulldogs on 14 points in 15th position. Bulldogs 3 points away from the Knights. So they weren't too far away from the Knights before the Knights had the win. But realistically, they are so far away from the rest of the competition. And
this is going to be your bottom three teams.
Yeah.
I just don't. I think the Dragons can climb up to 15th. I think it will be Tigers, Canterbury, St. George. That will finish the year. I think that would be it. But
maybe
all three teams are very much just crisis a little bit. I think.
Look,
the Dragons in crisis, but they've got the plan for next year already. So I can sort of give that bit of a this year's already just.
So do the Tigers. So do the Bulldogs. They've both brought in new coaches. Dragons are bringing in a new coach next year. The Dogs, on paper, have one of the better rosters of the league. I had them in my top 8 at the start of the year because of that. The only person that I don't really have playing is Viliami Kikia.
Yeah. Yeah.
Their key signings of Reid Marnie, he's playing. Matt Burton, he's missed one game because of Origin selection. Who else did they sign? It escapes me now. Billy Kikia, he's out injured.
Well, pretty much him and Marnie really with it.
Some of their forwards have been going good. Addo Carr, fair enough.
Done too much.
Addo Carr's missed a few games for Origin, fair enough.
Hayes Perrin's not the fullback. They sort of thought. Carraz has missed a bit of time as well, but I think the main problem with the Dogs is still their number 7.
Yeah,
they get all these people, like they signed Toby Sexton during the week. I don't think he's much of an upgrade from Flanagan or Oluwapu.
I reckon he's an upgrade from Flanagan. Flanagan, unfortunately, has just never fought. Flanagan is the Luke Brooks of Canterbury at the moment.
He's been thrown under. Dude, he got thrown under the bus at the Roosters for not winning.
Yeah, but that is what it is.
You look at his form during New South Wales Cup, mate. He's getting like 3 or 4 tries assists a week.
It's New South Wales Cup. It's a completely different competition. You were just saying that.
And he comes in and has a go. When the Bulldogs versus Sharks, he had a fucking go. He scored a try. Everyone else around him said, "Oh, well done." Didn't do anything. Matt Burton, he didn't play that game, but Matt Burton last week, you wouldn't even think he's on the field. Like, I don't know. I think there's still this sort of team on the build. I think everyone overhyped them this year. We're sort of thinking maybe in the 8. I think they're still another 2-3 years away now. I think this year's knocked them back down a peg.
Do you think maybe the role was a fraction too big for Soriato, the jump?
I don't think the jump was too big. I think the expectation was too big. They brought him in, and everyone's gone. Well, he's done a good job being an assistant coach at Penrith. They've won back-to-back years.
But he'll go like this. He'll bring the team straight up. But it's gonna be. Do you think they get better for next year and the year after?
Don't know. I'd have to wait and see what they do in the preseason.
Because, looking at the ladder, the likes of if we go from 8 upwards, Warriors, Bunnies, Eels, Raiders, Storm, Sharks, Broncos, Panthers, can they push any of those teams out?
No, not really, no.
Because I certainly know the Dragons are not better than any of those teams.
Yeah.
At the moment.
Yeah, I think they're still I think the fan base and the media overhyped them a little bit, and I think they're still in that, Gus Gould 5-year plan. I think that's starting again. Starts every 2 years again, doesn't it? Just repeats. I know Gus said he didn't have any expectations of this year, but that doesn't mean you can't. That means you've got to win games. So it doesn't mean just because you've got a free pass of a year.
Doesn't mean you can come 15th, 16th, or 17th. That kind of means you should become a 9th or 10th.
Yeah.
There has to be a team to come last. It is what it is. Someone has to come last. The Sharks have come last before. Someone has to come last.
Mm-hmm.
But when you're being down the bottom of the ladder year after year after year, you want to see a bit of a cycle where even if you come down the bottom, Sharks come last and then 2 years later won the comp? Or the next year won the comp?
No, they got the wooden spoon in 14.
Yeah, and then won in 16. There's got to be that shift. And then you can come back down into the middle of the pack.
And we had that shift. We had 17 when we lost in the prelims, and then 18, 19, 20, we sort of went back down.
Yeah.
And then everything happened with Flano again, and then...
You went back up last year. You're still up the top. That's something. There's just got to be a size. No.
We're far from perfect. We're still a work in progress, but the recruitment's done well. It's worked out. Not everything works out all the time.
Yeah, I just think for the Tigers, the Dragons, and the Dogs, their cycle is just from last to 8th and then back down to last. Yep. They can't, Dragons made the 8, whatever it was, 2-3 years ago, and that's the best result out of those 3 clubs.
Well, I don't think the Tigers haven't made the finals for 9 years. I think it is.
Yeah. So
I don't know if that's a stretch or not, but
that's concerning. That's really concerning.
And they always say about the Tigers, Tim Sheen's back. You got Benji, you got Farrow, you got the young kids. I didn't have high hopes for him this year, and sort of some people. I think you might have went, are they going to go a little bit better than that? And then it just hasn't worked out. I know they've had injuries: Dewey, Brooks, Affy.
Yeah,
I know that's fair enough, but you still got to have the people in there to make resources to make sure that you're still going to be in games.
Yeah, there's a big need for that coaching staff with those sort of accolades to find something and to recruit names and to find something.
Yeah, definitely.
Anyway, we'll see. So out of those 3 teams, who do you reckon is the worst and will finish the lowest this year? I'm tipping Tigers now.
Yeah, Tigers. Tigers or Dogs.
Seeing as the Dogs are 1 win ahead of the Dragons and the Tigers, I reckon the Dragons are the only team that can jump up. Interesting, Dogs have the worst for and against, -220.
Oh, wow. By 65.
Panthers have the best for and against at 193. Here's an interesting one for you, though. The Raiders are the only team in the top nine to have a minus for and against of minus 65.
You even look with their minus 65.
Even the Knights have a better for and against.
The Gold Coast have a better for and against. Manly do.
Yeah.
Newcastle do. And that's crazy. That's like Canberra, the team that will get blown out by 30 and then win next week by 2.
Yeah.
It's like,
literally. Yeah.
Like you look at their wins, it's all like 1-6, not like.
Yeah. Interesting. Anyway.
It's going to hurt them though. If they finish on the same points as a couple of teams, they're going to be on the bottom.
Yeah.
Of them teams, sorry.
Oh.
But yeah, interesting.
Let's look to this week, mate.
Yep.
We'll look to this weekend, and then we'll look to the Origin.
Yep, definitely. Tomorrow night, kicking off at CommBank Stadium, it's the West Tigers versus Mike Cronulla Sharks. I don't think it's going to be another like 74-0. I'm going to go into tomorrow's game like I did last week, a bit wary, no expectations.
Sharks easy, mate.
In my tipping, I'm going to probably put them by 24-30 again. But
you just said you were going to be a bit weary.
Yeah. In my tipping, I've got to go bold, man. I've got to get out there. But in the inside of it, I can see a bounce back, but I think the West Tigers have made a bit of changes. They've completely changed their right side defence. With everyone, with their wing, I think the second row winger.
Dane Laurie returns. Did he play last week?
I don't think he did, or maybe he did. I think he might have played in the halves.
He might have, yeah. Yeah, he's in the halves again.
So yeah, it's going to be interesting when I think Ronaldo, Talakai, and T. Wilton might have a field down the left side. They opened up the Dragons a little bit last week, but the Dragons opened them up as well. But Dragons have got a better left side than the Tigers.
I reckon Sharks by 20.
Yeah. Sharks by 30.
Okay.
Moving on to the Friday night game, your Dragons, mate, versus the Canberra Raiders. No Ben Hunt, no Sloan, no Jack Bird still. I don't know why, but my app has got no teams on it. That is ridiculous.
Yeah, NRL app.
Yep.
Oh, mine does.
So you might have to take the reins on this one, actually, unfortunately.
Yeah, look, pretty standard team for the Dragons apart from Sloan out. So Paul Turner comes in, I think ex-Warriors player. Outs for Canberra is Corey Horsburgh.
Picked for Origin, as we'll speak later on.
For Origin. The rest of their team looks pretty 1-17. Yeah, so Atamari.
Papali's out with injury. He injured himself.
Yeah. And then the Dragons bring Dan Russell onto the bench. Moses Mbai, if there's one bloke you just would want to rip up all contracts for NRL, it would be him. He should never play in the NRL ever again.
You've only got 10 weeks left of him.
I don't want 10. That's too many. That's 10 too many.
That's all right. Mate, how's your fullback going to go? Paul Turner? I don't really know.
Idea. I've nothing on him.
So obviously he's the fullback for the Steelers. I would hope.
Yeah, but I got no idea.
Okay. Fair enough. I like how you follow your team. The first game on the Saturday night, Parramatta Eels, mate, versus Warriors. Obviously,
who are you tipping?
Oh, sorry, Raiders.
Oh, I'm tipping Dragons by 2.
Are you really?
Yeah, I reckon they'll bounce back.
You kidding?
No, serious.
Wow.
They're a chance.
Yeah. That's taking me surprised. I don't know. Parramatta
Wait till I get 8
versus
from 8.
Warriors. This first Saturday game. Unfortunately, Eels missing Dylan Brown. He's 77-week suspension. Moses Gutho in Origin. Fortunately, they bring Paulo back in as he didn't get selected. But
Weird.
Regan Campbell-Gillard then goes out. Maddo's at 6 still.
Jermaine Hopgood is okay to play because he was named at number 19. Is that right?
So he's 19th man, but supposedly there's rumbles going around. Someone's injured. So
okay.
I hope that doesn't materialise. I'm not quite sure.
Because I need him for Supercoach.
Yeah, I need him for Supercoach as well. Then looking through the Warriors team, they are pretty much 1-17 from what they had last week.
Yeah.
Obviously, as they are not really Origin affected.
Yeah, they're
Who
sweet.
tipping in this one? Because I don't know. Like
To
I
be
took the
honest,
Warriors last week and they burnt me. It's like,
look, Sportsbet got Warriors as the favourites of $1.60.
I'm gonna have to go Warriors. I think just with a full team, especially after last week.
Yeah, I think. I think they'll probably give themselves a kick up the arse. Probably Warriors.
Like I'm going to take them Warriors, but with no confidence. But no, like it wouldn't surprise me to see Parramatta win. Put it that way.
It's at Combank. 2 games at Combank this week.
Oh, it is too.
Friday.
I don't know why the
Thursday,
Tigers
Saturday.
take the Combank.
That's just dumb. They should play Campbelltown.
Campbelltown, I like that. They're doing that next year though, at least.
They've only got 10 followers, 10 supporters that want to turn up anyway. They don't need They don't need a big stadium. Yeah, I'm going to go the Warriors.
Yeah. Then the second game on the Saturday night is the Rabbitohs versus Dogs. The Rabbitohs, they're depleted a bit, aren't they? With obviously Trolls out. Cody Walker, we'll speak a bit later on, getting picked for Origin.
Dean Hawkins comes into the 5/8 role.
Yeah. No Damien Cook, no Murray.
Cookie, yeah. So really comes
so
in.
it's a bit of a weird one there. Then looking at Dogs.
Toby Sexton will play this week. Straight in.
Yep, he's been straight in. Jake Averillo has been brought in.
They've changed their back line around so much this year, haven't they?
Averillo's gone from centre to fullback. So then
he's played in the halves too, hasn't he?
Yeah. So Trapine comes in, and then Blake Wilson comes in for Addo Carr. Obviously, as you said, Sexton comes in in the 7. But you look at that sort of forward pack, you take out Jaden Ockenbaugh, and it's a pretty decent 8-13.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
It's always, I think, their backs have been a bit light, but
I'm gonna tip the Bunnies. I think Blake Taff, Alex Johnston, and Lachlan Ilias will get it done.
You know what?
You're going to go the Dogs. You've just shit on the Dogs for the last 15 minutes in the segment before.
Shit on them. They're shit.
You're a muppet.
Well, it's only because of how many South players got out. Look, and come game day, man, I could go South. I want to. That's going to be a game time decision. I'm going to see how everyone else is going, how I'm going in my tipping.
If I'm 4 from 4,
if I'm got them all right, I'll go Bunnies.
3 from 3.
Yeah. But yeah, and then rounding out the round, Gold Coast Titans versus Dolphins up at Seabus Stadium. AJ Brimson out for the Titans as he is fullback.
Jaden Campbell comes in. That's all right.
It's pretty handy. Just obviously he's been playing 14 the last couple of weeks.
Gary Marshall King named. I thought he just got injured.
Yeah, I think they just named him just in case. They do say keep an eye out for that.
Yeah.
Wayne Bennett said on the night that he's probably not going to play again this year.
That's what I thought. That's what I thought I heard the other day.
So make of that what you feel. Tino's out, and then his younger brother comes in. Dave Fafita's out, and I don't know if he's got a relation to Payne Haas, but Kelsey Haas comes in for number 11. And then you got two hookers on the bench with Randall and Clark, even though Clark sort of plays as a second row hooker.
Oh yeah.
And a winger, JJ Fafita. That's a weird bench.
That is a weird bench.
And then you got Alec, that I never heard of.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I don't know about this one. Like, where's Seabus?
I'm going to go Dolphins just because they've still got Nicarima, Osako, Sullivan.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go Dolphins too. Dolphins at $2.10. I think I'm going to go the Dolphins.
Value. And then with the Roosters, Manly, Knights, Broncos, Cowboys, Penrith, and the Storm having the bye and the free 2 points.
That's what you need these days if you're a Dragon supporter.
Do you have any left? Or you got it next week?
Yeah, one more. Take them. Thank you. Get us to next week, baby.
Well, that would take you off the bottom because Tigers ain't going to win.
Yes.
You might go up. You might win this week and then next week.
We might be into 15th. Watch out, Knights coming for you.
You got to get past the Dogs first.
Yeah, doggies lose this week. We win. We jump, and then we still a chance at the 8, maybe.
Beautiful.
Let's look at the Origin teams, mate. Obviously, we had that little call in from ESO before. Some huge changes around the New South Wales team. Actually, you know what? Let's start with Queensland because there's hardly any changes. AJ Brimson comes in for Walsh with his suspension.
Yep.
Xavier Coates keeps his spot instead of Cobbo, which, again, Billy is a typical Queenslander, pick, stick, unless you have to make a change. So I think Cobbo probably comes back next year.
Yeah, I'd probably say so, yeah.
But it's like, Coates, you did a job before, do one more. Other than that,
Holmes and Hammer, easy picks. Tuolangi had a field day last week. Munster, Cherry Evans.
It's the same with
except
Corey Horsburgh. Harry and
so I think that's a good way to get him flowing. I don't know if Ben Hunt might be there next year. Don't know, depending on where they're going.
Well,
but he'd probably be more of a bench guy now. I think
it's Harry's position, really, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's his to make of it. Yeah,
he's the best hooker in the game.
And then Corey Horsburgh comes onto the interchange bench because Thomas Flegler was injured.
Yes.
Fodawaker played last game, didn't he? Yes.
Yep.
Tommy Dearden still that 18th man, and Jermaine Hopgood at 19th. Hoping Jermaine Hopgood stays at 19th so that we can put him on Supercoach. Now, mate, I'm on the NRL app and I'm actually going to show this onto the screen. There's a little, you can click on the thing with ins and outs. Look at the difference between the Maroons and the Blues list. That is
looking at it now as well. Yeah,
unbelievable, battlers. There is 3 ins and 2 outs for Queensland, and we look at our list.
Yeah.
Let's go through it.
Yeah, we'll go through each position, give our thoughts, and James Tedesco.
I'm happy with that.
I'm happy with, like, he's the captain, but I think if he's in poor form when Origin comes around next year, then I'd have to think other roads.
Yeah, the thing is, we have so many fullback options if everyone is fit. There's Teddy, there's Trell, there's Tommy. If those 3 are fit, then they you've also got Gutho, who's just coming into the side.
Got any Drinkwater?
Scotty Drinkwater's just come into the side. There is 5 quality fullbacks that can play. Queensland have the same thing though.
Mm.
They Ponga, Walsh, AJ Brimson,
Hammer.
I
He
wouldn't.
plays fullback. He plays fullback for Dolphins.
I wouldn't. I guess. Yeah, fair call.
He's
Fair
not
call.
he's not in the top. Like he's not in their level. But
So like they've got 4. We've got 5. I'm happy for him to be there, but like you said, if there's even an inkling of doubt next year, it's just because I think he's 31 next year.
Yeah.
You're gonna have Trell, who's 27 or something next
We've
year.
missed him for the last 2 years, haven't we? He hasn't played Origin for 2 years.
Yeah.
It's hurt.
Yeah. So anyway, happy with Teddy.
Yeah. Brian Toto, no problems.
Happy with that.
Yeah. Crichton with Latrell, Tommy being out, I'm happy with that.
Yep.
He played pretty good in game 2 for how they played. The one game wonder. All you need is one good game. Bradman Best, mate. Eddie, this is what I liked. I sent it on NRL 360. It was, I don't know who it was. It was one of the Daily Telegraph journalists that was on the panel, and they had Brandy.
I think it was was it Paul Crawley and Brandy?
Brent Reed or something like that.
No, it was Brent Reed. I think it was Brent.
And he goes, oh, Bradman Best hasn't been on the radar, and he hasn't. Like no one's ever mentioned his name. He goes, he's had one good game, and he's in the sort. And Brandy went straight.
He wasn't happy, was he?
Like, I'm going. This is so fucking true. He hasn't played that good all year. He probably had a good last 3 weeks. Doesn't mean you pick him for Origin. And then people go, oh, who do you put in there?
Gutherson.
And I go, and that was my first answer. I went, Gutherson. You put him. What's the worst thing that's going to happen? We lose the fucking game.
Well,
right, you know what I mean? Like,
mate, pick Jack Whiten. But he retired himself, I guess.
But I don't know.
The only thing is that the last 2 games, this game coming up and the game before, the second game especially, there's been some selections where they've played in a team that has played really well on the Saturday or the Sunday, and then the team is announced on the Monday. And it's just a little bit coincidental that their team played really well and they weren't really being talked about until that weekend, and then they play well, then they got picked. Whereas you look at the Queensland side, those guys, that's the team that you would have picked in game 1.
Yep.
Just about.
Yeah, very much.
Brandy in an interview spoke about Bradman Best played under 19s Origin. He's always been an up and comer. I'm like, under 19s Origin. Who gives a shit? No one cares.
He's like 23 now.
Yeah, that was in 2019, I'm pretty sure. He played really well last year. He's had a quieter year this year. I just think Gutho would have been the pick.
I think it's just he's playing well, throw him in. Just and see how he goes.
I also don't think that the experience of a dead rubber game 3, where we're probably going to get smashed again, I don't think that's good for experience.
Yeah.
For someone like Bradman Best that may never get a shot anyway.
Yeah.
Could be different for someone else like a half that we know and love. But I don't know. Anyway.
That's right. That car on the other wing, I think that's pretty. He hasn't had the best series, but he's, when it comes to Origin, he'll try his hardest. And this is where it gets interesting with, if you put Bradman Best in there for a dead rubber, right? Trying to get him in the Origin arena, bit of confidence with rep footy. Why are we picking Walker?
Yeah.
Why? And people are going to go, oh, this is your bias towards the Sharks. Why not just throw Nico Hines in there?
No, mate, I 100% agree.
So put him and Moses in there. Moses is a dominant half. He can play a bit of both sides. Just he can do the kicking game. Hines hasn't got the best kicking game. I'll say that. But he's eyes up footy, a bit like Moses, but Moses can probably stay a bit more relaxed and let Hines try and do the flashy stuff. Cody Walker's been there, done it, hasn't succeeded. He hasn't had that good of a year for South. He's been up and I think every week's been a bit different. He's gone in there and they've said, "Oh, it's a must-win game." It's not a must-win game because we've lost the series already.
It's absolutely not a must-win game.
Like I don't know. I think obviously I want this team to prove me wrong, but I don't think it's going to. I think every New South Wales person sort of feels the same.
Freddie spoke about Cody and Mitch obviously play on opposite sides of the field for club. Mitch and Nico play on the same side. I can't remember are they both right side players?
Yeah, Nico plays a little bit of both, but he's more right side dominant. Yeah,
right. So that was apparently a defining factor. Freddie seems to think that he's been on the blower with Nico and talked to him and this and that. And I'm like, why bring him in game one and then don't bring him in when you need? I just feel like you need that X factor. You need that younger guy.
They tossed him out like a piece of rubbish and not even looking back.
It's also not good enough to just go, "Oh, mate, like you're still in with us. Like maybe next year, because you might not get another go next year."
And it's pretty bad when Nico came out after the game. I think it was on the weekend and said, "Oh, I didn't play good in Origin 1. I don't expect to get picked. I'll let the stake down." Mate, you didn't fucking let the stake down. The coach let you down.
Yeah.
The coaching staff let you down massively.
You played 5 minutes. That's not letting anyone down.
In a fucking centre.
When you're not a centre.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway.
Whatever.
We'll see. Moses at 7. He was one of the best.
I'm happy for that.
Ground.
Yeah.
Best on ground in game 2. Jakey, I think that's a good pick coming back from injury. He loves that. He brings that spark. He'll get into the boys. I don't mind that pick.
Instead of Bolo there, Junior Bolo.
No, so I would have taken Campbell Gillard out. I would have put Paulo in 10. Because Payne Haas is out as well, so that's probably a little bit why as well, because he's out with injury.
Yeah, so obviously one of them's got to replace, but got rid of both of them. I didn't think that Junior played that bad.
If Haas is fit, I go Jake and Haas at 8 and 10.
Yeah.
And then so Campbell Gillard out, Jacob Saifidi out, and Paulo on the bench. That's pretty easy to me. I think that's pretty fixed. So Cook at 9. I think him and Robson, obviously, whatever we want to start. Doesn't really matter now. Campbell Gillard, I don't think he's been in that good of form. He's only been back for a couple of weeks now. And
I think only 3 weeks.
Straight back into the side. Liam Martin, like he's probably been player of the series.
Yeah, he's been good. In a losing side, he's been good.
Started on the bench both games. Keelan Matangi, that's how you pronounce it. Jared Eason.
I don't mind that selection.
I like it. Off the bench.
You know what I mean? I thought he would have got a bench, but because he's probably been pushing. I reckon he was even pushing a couple times last year. Yeah. So I don't mind that selection.
Yeah. Cam Murray at 13. I think it's just a bit of a switch up now with obviously him and Isaiah Yo. That's on the 14. These are the things I don't see from Freddie. It's like, what does one game change where you play different people? Just I don't know. And with the bench, like it's such a weird bench.
Well, my thoughts on Isaiah Yo at 14. I think that's maybe a nod to next year, the year after.
Yeah, or even just to give one of these boys a start inside and you come on the bench. And because he can come on in the 20th minute and he played the 60 minutes, you know what I mean? Like Jacob Saifidi pick.
How come Tyson Frizzell got dropped?
until I clicked that ins and out, I went, oh, fuck. Tyson. I went, he's one of the better players. I thought he would be in the top 5 players this series for New South Wales.
I thought last game especially, he played his absolute guts out. But I assume that's who Jacob Saifidi is replacing, just about, or is Kalonga Matani replacing? I don't know who's replacing who, but how Tyson Frizzell got dropped is beyond me.
Yeah, I think Kolomatangi is replacing Frizzell because I think Saifidi is in there because of Haas and Paulo.
So he's a front rower.
Yeah, because he's a bit more of a front rower, yeah.
So Isaiah Yeo, when he goes on, who's he going to replace? Murray. Is he going to go straight into the lock role, or is he going to go on as a front rower? I'm scratching my head, literally and figuratively. Because Isaiah Yeo is not going to play second row.
No.
Is he? No. So what, does he go on to lock, and then Murray has to move for one of the...
Yeah, but then who are you going to...
For one of the back rowers to come off? Again, that creates too much change. In Origin, I want 1-for-1. I just want one person on, one person off. I don't want to swap too many people around because it just creates confusion.
Definitely. Then Reece Robson, pretty handy pick. He did pretty well to play 80 minutes.
I like
debut.
And I think again that's succession planning. Eventually, it's probably Reece Robson's position with Appy and Damien Cook are both older in their 30s.
Yep, definitely. Clint Gutherson, I don't know. You pick him at centre or you don't pick him at all.
Yeah.
I feel.
Look, that interchange bench, 1-for-1, Reece Robson and Ben Hunt, fair enough. Hookers, Lindsay Collins, Moeki Fotuaika, Corey Horsburgh, 3 big fellas.
But you know who they're coming on for, you know what I mean? Like, they're going to give Tino a rest. They're going to give, Carrigan a bit of a rest, maybe. Tino, Cotter. You know what I mean? And Ben Hunt coming Roman, you know what I mean?
It's just weird.
Yeah, it's definitely weird, but yeah, it's going to be an interesting one with the game next week.
I think Queensland go 3-0.
Yeah, Queensland 13 plus and 3-0. Yeah,
13 plus.
I fucking hate saying that. Don't get me wrong. Fuck, that hurts me. That hurts me. Well, we had a better side last game and we got fucking pumped by 30.
Yeah, that's true. 26-18, 32-6. We only scored 6 points last game. They could win 13 plus.
I never want to say that. I never want to say Queensland just fucking win by.
You're wearing a blue jumper, for God's sake.
No.
Oh, yeah. I think Queensland probably get it done.
Yeah, unfortunately, Yeah, I know.
Freddy loses. Is he gone?
Well, supposedly not. They reckon they're bringing Brian Smith in to help him next year. And I fucking hate that. Fuck him off. Just fuck him off.
I just don't think. I just think the way that he constructs a team, the way that he's playing the game, it hasn't beat Queensland in the last few years. So we need to change it because Billy's following a very similar system to what was being done before, and it's working. And fair enough, we've had injuries and this and ins and outs and whatever.
They pick a fucking stick.
And you said Trell hasn't played the last couple of years. Turbo's been out the last couple of years in and out of they are New South Wales best players. So we need them, but there are so many other players that we're just talking about that aren't getting picked, that are the best players in the state. And we just need a coach that can go, yes, those best players, they're in.
Definitely.
I don't know.
Anyway,
hopefully Freddie's gone. Yeah, I don't want to talk about Origin anymore. Yeah,
We'll have,
we probably won't talk about it next week.
we'll have a review next week. Might be 5 minutes, might be half an hour. So, could very much well be like that. Moving on, mate, to it might be our first favourite sport now that fucking the footy's going a bit shit
Footy sucks.
in the Origin. Live, mate. They had Live. I don't know how to pronounce. It was in Spain. That's all I know. I can't pronounce
Come on,
where
mate.
they.
Have a go at it.
What is it? Andalucia? Lucia? I don't know. Andalucia.
Hang on. Let me have a look here.
Yeah, Andaluca. See, Andaluca. Did I pronounce it?
Probably like Andalucia.
No.
Just say it was a Valderrama, mate.
Yeah, easy. Taylor Gooch.
Gooch.
Third live event.
Mate,
Crazy.
he can actually play. I didn't even know he was a good golfer until Live.
He was a bit of a good golfer, but I think he just didn't get recognised that much. Win by one shot, to my boy Boris DeChambeau. It's a shame that he couldn't get it over the line.
I hate him.
Of course you do. He came second on 11 under. Brooks Koepka keeps his good form rolling with the third in -9. Sebastian Munoz in 4th. Patrick Reed in 5th. Kokrak, Pugh, Tringal, and Johnson and Neiman round at your top 10.
Where'd Smithy finish?
He finished 12th. He went -2, +1, even. So that
he got a lot. He got a lot of media coverage for not that good of a round.
Yeah. And just moving to the team events, Torque won it easily by 5 shots. Round 3 really helping. They were -8. And the range coach only did -1 to finish second. Even though the Crushers went +3 on the third round, they still finished third. So that's pretty impressive.
Ripper GC +5 on the last day.
+5, yeah, that hurt us. Like you go -3 and it's 6, like yeah. It's just sting of that.
They were coming second after the first day.
Could be worse. It could be the Ironheads or the Cleeks that all 3 rounds by both teams were in the plus.
+10 on the second day, Cleeks. Holy moly. Oh.
It's crazy. And we'll just quickly do a little pick by this week's round at the Centurion Club in Hertfordshire.
Hertfordshire.
Yeah. The first year anniversary, mate, of Live Golf.
Yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty cool.
So yeah, they gone back to where it all kicked
Where it
off.
all happened.
Yep. Who you gonna pick, mate?
Well, going off those results, geez, I wouldn't like Gooch to go back to back. Brooksy's up there again. Brooksy's back in the game.
And the week after that is the Open. It's the Open.
Yeah.
That's why they're in. And this is what I like about Liv.
They chase it. They follow it. Yeah.
They make sure that we don't want our boys travelling so far. Week before the Open, we'll do London.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're all in the country. Obviously, some of them aren't playing. Obviously, but yeah.
I think we've gone from Spain over to London. Who's going to play good in England?
I'm going to go Brooks. I think that's a pretty plain answer, but
I'm going to go Poulter.
He finished 12th, 13th.
Yeah, he had 1 under, 1 under, 1 over. But I think maybe he's due.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll go Brooks. But I'll go Range Goats for the team.
Brushes. I hate to say it.
Does
I hate to say it. I hate to say it.
Rice going good. Is that what you're? Is that what you're
I
saying?
just think they might all just help each other out. So shut up.
Beautiful. Then moving on to the other big sporting event that is going around, or for the two countries, the cricket, mate, the Ashes. Australia took a 2-0 lead, winning by 45 runs. But the only talking point that came out of day 5 was not even the result. It was the Johnny Bairstow, Alex Carey sort of run out. Oh, it's 100%. And you see, like everyone would have seen a lot of the videos. They tried to do it to Marnus Labuschagne on day 3. Bairstow did.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, and this is what I'm glad about, right? So it was Andrew Strauss, Paul Collingwood, and I think Ian Bell. I think it was. They're all on the Sky Sports commentary team and do all the videos and like reviews, previews for the game. And they all said out. They said
absolutely.
He doesn't wait. He gets it, and that full motion, he's gone. It's not his duty to say, "Oh well, I've touched the back of the crease. That's over." The umpires didn't move. It's like, mate, and what they said. They said he's done it 3 times that over of going early, and people are going, "Oh, that's not in the spirit of the game." I said, "Mate, fuck it. It's the Ashes.
Absolutely.
Anything goes. I don't care. It's our biggest rival. We haven't won in England since 2001. You better fucking believe it. I'm taking every opportunity to win. Because now all we need is a draw. One win or one draw, and we win the Ashes because we won in Australia. So technically, we retain it if it finishes 2-2 out of the five match series.
I reckon we can go 3-0. Oh, pardon me.
So, sorry for keeping you up, mate.
Sorry, mate. It just hit me. Look,
the
one thing with that is, like you said, he just walked. It's not as if he stood there, took a step back, then started walking down the pitch. He has just gone straight into it. It's gone straight into the glove. And as you said, it's gone straight out of the glove. There was no hesitation.
If he waited 5 seconds, okay, that's not it. You can't just sit there, stay for him to walk away and then go.
Yeah.
But when you have it in the glove comes back up, and then you bang.
He just chucked it straight away.
And then bush go. He's done it in all that one motion. Boom.
Yeah.
Fair play. And all these salty fucking pommies. Fuck the poms.
The footage of the boys walking back through, and
the MCC or
those old pricks yelling abuse,
mate,
and was stopped. You can see the look on his face. He's like this. He's like, mate, give it a rest. He's just going, shut up, you old idiot, because it's been given out. If you want to heckle anyone, go and heckle the umpires because they're the ones that made the decision. We did it. But the umpires made the decision. They could have said, no. The over was done. And Aussies would have gone, come on.
And that's what happened. So when they went, we're going to go to third umpire, Ben Stokes walked up to the umpire and went, did you guys call over? And the umpire said, mate, we didn't say anything. And he's gone. And he went, fuck.
Yeah.
It's out. But then after the game, he goes, that's not in the spirit of the game. Fuck off. You would have done the exact same thing and you wouldn't have caught it back. That's a load of bullshit.
The one thing that annoys me a little bit with the spirit of the game, this whole like gentlemanly cricket is, I get it. That's where it originated from. Same thing with golf. You know what? Wearing shorts is not in the spirit of the game for golf, but goddamn, let the blokes wear shorts. You know what I mean? Like the game is not the same game that it was in the
120 years ago.
1800s.
Yeah.
Exactly right. If you want to take a cheap shot, take a cheap shot, because we're out here to win, because these boys are getting paid lots of money to win. So use the rules to your advantage.
And exactly what they did.
And if you know that you can chuck that ball straight back because he's out of his crease and he's going to be out, absolutely. You know what? I'll go as far to say that the man CAD, I agree with. If you want to be smarter, but both ways. If the batter is like, you know what, he's not going to knock me out. So I'm just going to take 2-3 steps to get ahead of it. Use the rules to your advantage, but also you run the risk. Yep. So same thing, batter and bowler, batters and fielders. Yeah,
100%. Totally agree.
Anyway, I did like. Obviously, I wasn't staying up to watch the game, but I did like seeing it the next day. Just all the social media blow up. I watched the footage and I'm like, that's the easiest decision you would have to make. It's so clearly go on. It
took 20 seconds. The video ref went, roll through. Okay, he's out of his crease. When the bails came off, he's out.
Yeah.
So they had no hesitation to go, did you guys say over? It was just like plain and simple.
I think England just very dirty that obviously it's on home soil and they're probably not.
They're getting outplayed. They're making bad decisions when the game's in the balance. They make the wrong call and Australia capitalise, and then they put themselves in a good position to win the test.
They sent Australia into bat, did they?
They did. So that was the right choice because it was a gloomy day. It was overcast day, a bit of drizzle, the pitch, a bit of a green pitch. That's fine. But they didn't bowl to the conditions. They didn't
bowl well though. Yeah.
No. And Australia capitalised on that, and in the afternoon it came a little bit better.
Because from what I was reading and listening to, I was like, why wouldn't they go into bat first and hope that Australia don't bowl to the conditions, sort of thing?
Yeah. Well, sometimes you got to.
Yeah. Flip of a coin, I guess. But
exactly right.
Do you reckon they go 3-0?
I'm going to stick to 3-1. Both how we predicted 3-1. I think we'll go 3-1 up. 3-0 up. Maybe lose the fourth, and then maybe draw the fifth.
Fair enough.
We both did pick 3-1.
Yeah. Lion.
He's gone for the series. He's gone.
Yeah, he's gone. Are they sending him home?
No, he'll stay there. I don't think it's not bad enough.
Bad.
Like surgery and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because he'll be there. I think obviously depending on how they go, we might go with 4 quicks if how the pitch is.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking. Like who replaces him?
Todd Murphy. He's the other spinner.
Oh, that's right. He's a bloke.
He played in India. Played for the Sixers.
Younger guy.
Yeah, younger guy. New South Welshman as well.
Yeah.
So
I reckon they just go the quicks, go body line, bounces, just get them.
That's what they're doing after Bairstow, and they'll bounce up. I'm going, what is going on?
Nah, just hammer them, stuff them.
Yeah, 100%.
Anyway, what else you got? Just looking at our run sheet here,
mate. I think that's the run sheet's done. Another big episode.
Yeah, we like a big one.
It is. I think it's a good. Yeah, 20 on you.
Yeah.
So
good on us. All right, Butlers. Yeah. That's it.
We're going to leave it on a good note there. See you next week. Hopefully, New South Wales win.
I'll have my jersey on if they do.
Yep, I'll have my jersey on as well. Definitely. All right, Butlers.
See ya.
Yeah.